Why, hello, everyone. Welcome back to PlayFrame and Dark Souls 3 co-op with Dan's. And it's going to be one Dan for a little bit here, just spoiler warning, because we killed a boss and we both forgot, it turns out, that small white soapstones don't exist in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, it's such a bummer, because like that was such a clever workaround, I feel, for 2.
Right? I'm like, we're both surprised. Like, 'cause it seemed like, why wouldn't you include that?
I know now why I thought it was still in the game, because when you go to buy it in the shop, the Homeward Bone's right next to it, and it looks just like a small white soapstone.
That makes sense. But whatever. We've got, like, finally definitive proof. Dark Souls 2 is better. Anyway, let me go talk to
Boom,
Grey Rat
there it
and...
is. Checkmate, drop the mic, see you next week.
Grey Rat, how's it going?
Oh, hello, you're back.
And you're back.
And in one piece. Well, now it's time I do my part, huh?
I got you a present? Here.
Heavens, she was already dead. Thank you. I'm not surprised, though. Almost a relief, really. You can keep the ring as, well, a little trinket of thanks, I suppose.
Thanks, buddy. You take it easy. Did you go ahead and get some new stuff? I don't know if I can't remember if I sent you out before. Do you want to go get new stuff?
You can keep the ring.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, when does he first get sent out? Because mine hasn't done that, I don't think.
Okay, I just gave him...
If you've nowhere to go.
Oh, he's bored here. I just gave him Loretta's bone.
Did I not do that?
Do you want to head... It doesn't seem like he wants to head out, though. So, like, I don't have an option to send him out, so...
Goodbye.
Nope, he's gonna stick around. Cool, that's fine. Maybe I'll check back later.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember what the trigger is for that.
Yeah. Yo, you want to give me a free level?
Oh, our champion.
You're hollowing, Dan?
Welcome.
Yes. Well, I mean, I also want to see Yuria, but also I want a free level.
Free level, though?
It's free levels.
I was trying to resist, because I'm always...
And I never would have.
I hate down the road being like, man, I wish I didn't hollow, because now my character looks like beef jerky.
That's true. You know...
And then you gotta use that purging stone to not look like beef jerky, and...
It's a good point. You know what? I'm gonna hold off so I can think about this for a bit, because I do love the free levels, and I do love getting to see Yuria, and I'll have to think on that, because I do want to, like, try to do NPC quests as much as I can. Then again, I could also look good. So
could look good. I don't know what point that is no longer an option.
I'll have to look that up as well. Yeah. Honestly, like, I saw most of the NPC quest stuff in the side quest playthrough, so I'm like, I'm not too worried about not seeing anything particular this time. It's mostly just wanting to make sure I don't miss anything cool. Oh, right, she's not here yet.
And it's a normal for us to do every NPC quest perfect the first try, so
right? Like, it's kind of tradition.
Bore the audience.
It'd feel weird if we just stopped doing it perfectly on game 3. Ludlith, by the way, I have a thing for you.
Fret not, fret not. My feet are...
What if he just pulled out a megaphone and was like, Boss Web! He's in on the joke.
That'd be... How does that mod not exist yet? Just a mod that does nothing else but add a megaphone, an animation, and the line. And that's all that Ludlith says from then on in the game.
Someone get on it.
Have a kiln.
Oh, belike it is a transpose.
That'd probably be pretty easy to do, actually. Now, because I've dipped my toes back into Dark Souls 1 modding.
Yeah?
And I'm trying to teach myself, like, how to actually do everything other than just, like, you know, drag and drop kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And I learned how to edit subtitles, and then I learned how to edit the actual audio file.
Oh my.
So I think when, like, I do my Dan Soul take on Dark Souls 1, I'm gonna change that whole, like, intro dialogue. Because I don't think I can change the cinematic, but, like, you know when the camera's, like, going through the cell?
Yeah.
And the lady's talking?
Mm-hmm.
I can change all that.
I would love to see. If you ever do that, please let me know so I can alert people that the stream.
100% am going to. Like, if I do, I will have you over and you will play it.
Yes,
And
that'd be so good.
that will be a thing.
All right, I can't equip this Great Hammer yet, so I won't yet, but that's definitely what I'm using Vort's Soul for. Anyway, all right. That's handled. I think I'm done out here. I don't think I can afford another level currently. Here's where the stats are currently sitting.
Oh yeah, what's your level at?
Level's at 23, and you're probably higher than me because you've been getting further in.
I did a bit of stuff. I think I'm at 30. Right
Okay,
now.
cool.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
That's going to help if and when we get invaded, because I did alert the Dan Hunters. That's kind of tradition now. I give them the heads up. And there seem to be, like, maybe I'm wrong, it seems like there's more of them, and also that they're real eager.
Yeah.
So I fear for us.
There's a few people have messaged me about like, hey, so what's this Dan hunting thing?
Oh no.
About?
Even people not already in the group are starting to come together, and
They've learned.
oh boy. All right, well, I'm going to travel to I guess not the Pit of Hollows. There's nothing for me there. I'm going to go to the dilapidated bridge, I guess. There's a few things more I gotta do, and yeah, I'm gonna have to do it solo because I can't summon you in. And that's fine. I'll try to gun through it, and we'll get all the stuff and get back to our Dan Souls nonsense as soon as we're able.
So while you're doing that, play friends. So there's a feature in this game. There is a covenant called the Mound Makers, which is if you get to that area where the tree falls before the tree falls, there's a guy you can talk to him, and he lets you join that covenant. That covenant is really fun because you can basically act as it's like a friendly fire summon.
It's pretty bonkers.
You basically get points for either A, helping them defeat a boss, or B, killing the player. So you can backstab them at the prime opportunity. One, I was thinking of doing that. It just kind of fell through the cracks. And you turn purple instead of like the normal like golden or white color. The thing I was thinking was, if I did that, could we get around the like requirements of summoning in zones that we're not supposed to be able to? But it looks like it still is based off what you use to summon. Because did you die?
Nah.
Oh.
Keep going.
So when you're a Mound Maker, you can summon either the cracked red eyes to invade someone, or you can put down the white Somenstein, and basically whichever item you use, the game still factors like, okay, you can be summoned by a white Somenstein here because there is a boss still, so we couldn't get around it like the small white Stope zone, unfortunately.
That would have been really funny if we could have done it that way, though. That way, we could do it, but with a very high cost, which is to say, my livelihood.
And I haven't brought this up to Dan, but I think it's something we can discuss while we have this little podcast moment here. There is a feature of Dark Souls 3 down the road where there is an arena.
An arena. Interesting.
A PvP arena.
Huh.
And I believe you can do team PvP arenas.
Really?
I feel like we might have to play around with that and stuff. I don't know if we can get it to work where like everyone is like community members or something, but like I feel like we gotta at least try it.
I think you're onto something there.
A 2v2 with like special guest or something.
Yeah, especially given how many hunters are interested in in joining into this run. Giant, do you think you could just let me? I was just trying to grab the thing I missed before. No! Help! Oh boy. But anyway, yes, I think you have a good idea there.
I've actually never done the arena stuff before, so I don't even know how it works or if it's doable still. But yeah, I think it was part of the Ashes of Ariandrel DLC.
Oh, okay.
And you get like a little crown, I think, too. Like when you're doing it. Yeah.
Well, now we have to do it. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun. I'd be game for that. Like I don't see why not. Like we've not done a
It'd be
whole lot.
fun, like goof off, even like for like not even, an episode but just like a little segment or something. Could be fun.
Yeah. Now I could totally see us doing like an episode of PvP goofs just for
yeah.
funsies. Like, because we've not really done a whole lot of that in all of this Dan Souls stuff we've been doing.
Yeah, this definitely the game I think that has the most active folks and is the most friendly for people playing and invading each other, because as much as we do love Dark Souls 2, that soul memory really sucks.
Yeah, I don't miss that.
That is the one. Like if I could change anything about Dark Souls, and I would even let the fall damage stay as it is. I would just change how the co-op works.
Yeah.
Or password protected. That's all we need, because every other Souls game now has it except for 2.
I am in agreement. I'm also trying to go and free a Pyromancer guy.
Free him.
Let the Pyromancer free. I just forgot that this bowl dude could keep attacking. There we go. Okay. Playing so much co-op Dark Souls with you has so clearly made me like less careful and thus less good at Dark Souls, because I'm just so much more goofy and reckless about everything. Like, I know I'm about to get shot now. I'm going for an item anyway.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Want to hear a joke?
Oh boy, do I. I was secretly hoping.
Leveling resistance. So apparently those were last episode were the only 2 good Dark Souls jokes, and now we're just in like how hard can we roll our eyes?
In a way, that's also good, while also being quite bad.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got. Well, hey, okay, this one's kind of clever.
Okay.
Am I clever? I mean, it's a stretch. Why is it called Dark Souls?
Dark Souls. I have no idea. Why is it?
Because there's so many knights.
That's stupid. I love it.
You wanted to hear another joke, Dan?
Please.
Pinwheel.
There's a lot of those, huh?
A lot of those. It's a lot of pinwheel jokes, is what I'm finding.
Poor Pinwheel. Poor Pinwheel.
Okay, this one's pretty good. What do you call an Antarctic Lord of the Light?
An Antarctic Lord of the Light. I don't know. What is it?
Penguin.
My mind was going to like Northern Lights. Come on, there's got to be something.
Right.
But like, no, that's much dumber and better. Yay. It's good. Hello, character.
Aha.
Yep. Talk. Skipping through dialogue. It's a dangerous time and place. Pyromancy man.
What are the walking shrubs in Darkroot Garden called?
The walking shrubs in Darkroot Garden. I don't know.
Ambushes.
Okay, that's good too.
That one's good.
I will give him that one.
impressed.
That's very
Some
good.
of these are pretty good.
I feel like that's the sort of thing, like certain games would literally have called them that.
Oh yeah, that is like especially like a rare end credits.
Oh
Here's the
yeah.
ambushes,
Oh
you
my
know?
gosh, that's exactly what they would have called them. Gosh, I want to see him with little rare googly eyes now.
Oh my
Where's
gosh.
that Dark Souls 3 mod?
Have you seen their like someone did a fan edit of like Dark Souls and Cuphead crossover?
That sounds familiar.
It was I think it was like years ago, like right when like DS3 came out or something, but it's super charming, but like that but with like old rare style would be so fun.
That'd be so good. Oh my gosh, I would love to see like N64 graphics poly count and rare style Dark Souls. Even just like, you wouldn't even have to like make an actual game or even actual video, just art of like a faked screenshot of a rare created N64 Dark Souls would be sublime. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. All right, got that item, got that stuff. Getting out of here. Picking minimal fights. I've got onion knights to talk to and some other random grumpy knights to talk to. And should I fight the rats? I might not even fight the rats. There's more items I'm missing back here, but I'll get them off camera. My priority is getting what I need and then getting back to the co-op goofs.
Oh, now I'm on an official Dark Souls website.
Yeah. They have those?
Apparently. What kind of drink is Solaire's favorite? Did we do this one?
I think we know Solaire's favorite day of the week now, which again, I feel really silly for not being able to guess.
Okay. So how about his favorite drink?
Sunkissed?
Capri Sun.
Capri
Sunkissed.
Sun.
We'll also
Oh.
accept Sunkissed, you know?
Capri Sun's funnier somehow. Any drink that comes in pouch form is inherently funny. Please don't. It's really weird hearing enemies still say taunts to you with English words.
What Ferris contraption was his most beloved?
What Ferris contraption was his most beloved? I don't know, but I'm dying to find out.
Ferris wheel.
Oh, that
Some
was...
of these are pretty
It
good.
feels so obvious in retrospect.
I was just wanting really dumb, like, they hurt kind of jokes, you know?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I was expecting all psychic damage from this list, and yet... Throw things at me. And yet you're actually finding some legitimately good Dark Souls 3 jokes, and I love this idea you've had. Oh, hi, dogs. Weirdly, I didn't remember you back here. Oh, I've made bad decisions. Yep. Poor choices are what I made. So what are you streaming lately?
What am I streaming? Oh, you know what I just finished last night was the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Ooh.
I did a randomizer of that, and it was so fun.
A randomizer of it. I think you showed me a clip of it, which was really funny because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, because basically the way it worked is like all the items in the remake like have physical geometry in the game. So like, oh, I'm about to go pick up this health kit, and it looks like a health kit. So you'd pick it up, and then it would immediately change, like when you picked it up, to be like, oh, that was actually a knife, or that was a grenade. So there was a fun little reveal when I did it the first time. But one of the things you could do with it is, for those of you who don't know, with Resident Evil 2, there's basically like 4 mini campaigns in the game. And 2 different characters through each of those campaigns. And they have different weapons throughout. Like, Leon has his own weapons and Claire has her own weapons. One of the things you could do is you'd randomize both pools together.
Interesting. And
So
dangerous, it sounds like.
It didn't affect key items, so like you still get the same like progressive, you know, keys or whatever you need to actually beat the game, but all the weapons are swapped around. So that was really fun using like non-Leon weapons in his playthrough and stuff.
That sounds really fun. I really need to play that still. Like I played like the first hour or so to get footage, and it was really good. And I've heard literally nothing but enormous praise for that game.
It's fantastic. Like
Ow.
I was a sucker growing up for Resident Evil, and Resident Evil 2 was like my favorite game for a portion of my life.
Oh wow.
And the remake is so good, and you can even put it on like the original music when you start the game, and it's like just a nostalgia trip.
That's so good. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, and they mixed it up just enough so like even people who return to it kind of had like some fresh moments, and that was
Yeah.
I haven't tried the 3 remake because that came out like pretty quickly after.
It did, yeah, like really quickly after like the next year.
I want to give it a go. 3 was like, I think one of the only Resident Evils I hadn't played for the longest time, and then I dropped off with 5 and 6.
That's a great time to drop off, is my understanding.
Yeah. I came back for 7, weirdly enough, isn't that weird?
Well, yeah, like coincidental.
Because 4 was like everyone loves 4.
4 is so good.
And I think was there a sizable gap of time between 4 and 5?
I don't remember. So like 4 came out GameCube era. It definitely came out the next console generation. I don't remember how many years of a gap there was.
I think that might have been like because GameCube going into Wii was college for me, so they could have just been when I stopped playing games for a while.
Oh sure, yeah.
And yeah, I think after I heard about 5, and I think 5 was all right? It just wasn't like a solid Resident Evil game.
It was okay. It was kind of like drifting toward. It was definitely worse than 4 by a good stretch, and also like, and that's not even factoring in all of the really questionable optics and racial issues in it.
Yes.
But like as a game to play, and especially if you played it co-op, I think then it's fun. Like as a co-op Resident Evil experience, there you're good. But yeah, like doesn't hold a candle to 4. Apparently they're remaking 4 as well, which is interesting because like 4 seems really solid already. I don't know how you improve upon it.
4 holds up pretty well.
I'm sure they'll find a way though, given their track record.
I pretty much anything in the RE engine so far, I'm like, yeah. Because even I think isn't Monster Hunter Rise in it as well?
I think so. Yeah, they've got a new. Yeah, I believe it is, and Rise should be coming to PC next year, I think. So like, I bet that'll be looking nice.
And 6 is the infamous punching the boulder, right?
That might have been 5 actually. That might have been the end of 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's all I know about those 2 games.
Yeah, so I've not played a lot of Resident Evil games, but I have a lot more knowledge now thanks to the Noah Gervais video that came out. So like he makes long videos, and I thought like when I made my Sonic video, which is like a feature-length film, I thought like, all right, I'm never gonna beat like Noah Gervais' record at the time of what was like 3.5 hours or something for Red Dead. But I was like, all right, I got like within swinging distance. I feel pretty proud of myself. Then he makes a Resident Evil video, which is legit 7.5 hours.
Holy smokes.
Covering most every Resident Evil game. And it takes some sessions to get through, obviously, but it's really good. And I've learned a lot more about Resident Evil now. Highly recommend Noah Gervais videos. Also that one, if you like Resident Evil and have some time.
I would like to, yeah.
I highly recommend it. It's very, very good. Siegfried, how's it going? Thoughtful. So thoughtful.
Oh. Pardon me, I was absorbed in thought.
I'm always sad that we didn't get a Dark Souls with like the different areas like Katarina and stuff.
It is surprising, right? Like there's so many areas in the Dark Souls world that are implied but never visited.
Mira,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really interested in.
Me too. I agree. So I'm kind of skipping dialogue at this point because we're talking over all of it anyway.
Oh, and I was trying to like, okay, I'm like, I don't know how long he talks. I think he talks pretty short.
No, I think listening to all the dialogue during co-op play is like a fool's errand. And again, if you want a lore-focused version of this playthrough, my first time playthrough of this was on the channel. Link up in the corner now if you want to watch me.
Click that.
Right there. If you want to see me experience all this for the first time thoroughly, that's the playthrough. We're here for goofs and
This lift only
co-op,
goes
which I need to get back to, Siegbert, if you... I know the lift, buddy. Hang on. Okay, I'll write it down first because I don't remember what's down there. I think it's actually where I'm supposed to go eventually, right? Like this is how you get to the, yeah. This is how you get to the road of sacrifices, right?
No. Oh, going down, yes.
Yeah. But I need to go.
Going up is to the demon guy.
Yeah, and I do need to do that, I think.
Also, if you go up to the top, you can at least grab the giant branch so he won't shoot at you anymore.
That also would be so great. I should go talk to him at some point. Okay, so let's do the thing. Whoop. And then it goes down. But yeah, Resident Evil Randomizer is not one I would have thought of, but actually makes a lot of sense.
It was fantastic. It worked really well, too. I was surprised.
Seems like a good pick. Have you managed to finish Final Fantasy X? I know you've been working on that one.
I did finally finish Final Fantasy X.
What are your closing thoughts? I know you've kind of had a lot of up and down on it.
So it was weird because one, I didn't realize how linear of a game it was.
Very.
Going in, it's very linear. But the game right at the end kind of has like a faux opening up moment. And it was really strong, and it was like I was like, oh, you got me. Like I'm invested again. I'm having fun. There's a lot of stuff to do, but there was a bonkers high. It wasn't even like a difficulty curve. It was a spike of like everything I've been handling. Maybe like 1 or 2 attempts for new bosses and stuff like that if they had like a gimmick. And then all of a sudden you do this like monster arena stuff, and it's like base level monsters, and they just have like millions of hit points, and they one-shot you, and it takes you like, 15 turns of you doing 99999 damage. And I'm like, this is rough.
Yep.
And then you finally do a few of these fights, and you're like, okay, like I'm feeling strong now. And then you go to the end of the game, and it's not at all balanced for what the rest of the end game was. So you just like one-shot the final boss. It had the potential right at the end for me to be like, okay, I think I enjoyed this overall, but it felt like they wanted you to do like post-game stuff or something. It just felt unsatisfying to me, at least for the post-game. Overall, I was pretty happy with the package. It was a nice story, some good little heartfelt moments. Waka, other than Auron, who Auron's the best character, period. Waka actually, I think, was my second favorite character.
Oh, you came around on him, huh?
I love it. Okay, so quick rant. I just had this rant with Lil earlier today too. So, a lot of the conversation while I was streaming this game came back to Persona 4.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see why.
There's a character in Persona 4 who's very sexist.
Yes.
And through the game, when he has these moments, like. For the record, I'm fine with like if you have your fantasy setting or your video game or your whatever, and you have a character with a bad trait. That is okay. The thing that's not okay is when said character says something racist or sexist, and all the other characters go like, "Oh, Yosuke, you kidder," and then they move on, and the game doesn't acknowledge they're being shitty, and the characters don't acknowledge they're being shitty. It's just accepted. Kind of similar to real life. And the thing that I liked about Waka was like he's super racist basically through most of the game, because one, he was raised in a very small bubble, and all his religious teachings were like, hey, here's these bad guys. Totally understandable why he would be that way. But as the game kind of goes on, and like he realizes even people he's with are that race, and he's like, and he says something racist, and everyone goes, what is wrong with you? Like, no, like, you've been with this person, helping them, they're a good person, and now just because a qualifier, it's like, everything's changed. And there's a moment at the end of the game where he, like, pulls aside one of the NPCs, and he's like, I just want to say I'm sorry that I, like, judged you that way and behaved like that. I was wrong. And I was like, this is fantastic. Like, I don't know. I feel like I never see that. And especially like a fantasy game where there's like, elves and dwarves hate each other, and then that's it, period.
Yep.
And it was very sad. Like, just that moment alone, I was like, I like Waka because he actually grew, acknowledged he was being shitty, and like re-evaluated himself. And yeah, I like it. I'm getting all like worked up.
No, I agree. Like, I like Final Fantasy X a lot, but like what I like about 10 is very much like world and narrative. When I think mechanically, if you're just playing the game strictly just kind of riding the wave and like having a good time getting through the main story, that I enjoy. But all of the additional side quest content, challenge content, like it is side quests for ultimate weapons are universally not fun to do at all. They're all really unfun garbage, and you have to like do a bonkers amount of side stuff to get super powerful to do not a whole other than just to fight, I guess, some optional bosses maybe. Like it's that end game challenge type stuff really falls flat for me for 10.
Yeah.
Which is why I never do any of it. So yeah, I completely agree with you on that feeling.
Yeah, I got everyone's ultimate weapon except Baka's because it was Blitzball.
That's I'm impressed genuinely because those I've done that before, and when I was in college and had time to do that nonsense, and it wasn't fun.
Blitzball by itself, like I could have had fun with it, but it was like the thing I don't like about Blitzball is if you have like, you know, it's essentially like a point matchup of like, here's your character with your stats and there's your other character and they have their own stats and they have a block of 10 but my attack is 12. So in theory I win, but it's just a roll of the dice. Just the better your numbers are, the better your chances of RNG being in your favor are.
Yep.
And that's very unsatisfying for me. I can see the appeal for some folks, but it just... If I have a bigger number, I want to win. Like,
I can understand that. You have no idea how bad I'm playing over here right now.
I think it's great. I think you're just killing stuff, like, left and right, getting all the souls, all the checks that you wanted to check. And
like, sometimes that's 100% true. And then there's the rest of the time. Those other times are really the important bits where it all falls apart, I think.
Well, if it means that, like, I'm standing around watching two Dark Wraiths kill demons, and that's pretty interesting.
I mean, that sounds fun, too.
And I'm enjoying the conversation, so, you know.
I am also enjoying that. I wonder if I can just charge through all this stuff. So I can grind for souls later if I do something stupid like this.
Yeah, definitely, like, narratively, I enjoyed Final Fantasy X a lot. It was a pretty big miss for me in terms of like combat and leveling. Like the part of my brain that's happy when you play like a JRPG of like, look how much my characters have grown.
Yeah.
And my characters did, you know, level up and grow, but the way it's handled in game was very like just unsatisfying to me.
Yeah, I can see that. I like the sphere grid a lot. In like, I can see it being. Oh, I was supposed to write that one. I could see like the way character growth like pans out long term. Yeah, I agree, but like, I like the theoretical flexibility of the sphere grid.
The flexibility is great. Love it. What I don't like about it is the game encourages you to make every character the same.
Yes.
And I think the biggest thing for me is like when you level, instead of getting like, hey, here's your stat increases, you get a sphere. And you have this big old grid where you socket these spheres in, and it's like, oh, here's 300 health on this sphere, or here's +2 strength, or whatever. And it's a fun idea. I like it in concept. Big time commitment to do it, because if you don't do it, you just essentially aren't leveling up.
Yeah.
And because they're such small little like increments when you stat them, and how much time it takes, it felt unsatisfying to socket in things unless it was getting a new ability. Then it felt good.
Yeah, it is small increments though. You're right. Like it's that feeling of getting an upgrade in like a Diablo or a Borderlands or something like that is like a +5% of specific elemental damage or something, which is like,
yeah.
Oh, well, that is better, but like I don't notice it when I'm in a fight.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they stuck with like keeping a sphere grid and something, but like you spending points or XP or money and keeping it just being like skills or new magic spells or new attacks would have registered well, like better with me. Because ultimately it was just like, I don't want to go sit for 15 minutes and sock it in spheres, because even if you just do it as fast as you can, there's like animation of the sphere getting locked in, and then they shine, and then you have to select which sphere you want to move to go put in the, and it's just, it adds up.
It does add up. That is true.
It was a cool idea, just wasn't my jam.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I think the biggest culprit was weapons. Your weapons don't have stats, they have abilities.
Yeah. That is an
And
interesting difference.
so on one side, it's cool because all you care about is what weapon abilities something has, because your starting sword will do the same damage as your end game sword, but they just have different abilities, kind of thing. So I guess I like the idea that you can customize and pick out your best thing. But then when you get a shiny new sword and you don't like the ability, you're like, trash. You're like, you just don't care.
Yeah, you get a lot of trash weapons that way.
And that was kind of a bummer, because like through the whole playthrough, it basically was like I found one item or one weapon that I liked, and I never took it off. And then I got the ultimate weapons, and it's like, don't use anything else.
Yeah.
Because it goes from like your non-ultimate weapons of like, this sword will occasionally inflict, silence on your enemy, and you're like, oh, that's pretty good. And then you get your ultimate weapon, and it's like, this weapon charges your overdrive 3 times faster. It also does triple damage. It also immediately attacks counter damage. It also like stuns enemies on hit or something, just like 4 insanely powerful abilities.
Yeah, it also throws all of your other weapons in the garbage where they belong, because you better not use them.
Literally does. And that, I did feel satisfying getting the ultimate weapons. Most of them I hated doing.
Yep. And who can blame you? It's miserable.
Yeah. There's one, getting Lulu's, which I got halfway through it, and then I failed, and then I just found a thing online that was basically would do it for me with like little input from me. There's a zone you have to dodge lightning bolts, and you have to do 200 in a row.
It's so stupid.
If you mess up once, it resets it. If you leave the zone once, it resets it. If you check the prize early, it resets it. There's no counter on screen, and good luck.
Yep. No, that is Final Fantasy X's idea of a mini game, and it's terrible. I hope you guys are like here for Final Fantasy X talk today. Because that's what we're
Final
doing.
Fantasy X.
I've killed the demon. I've gone back to Firelink and like turned in some stuff, leveled up a little bit. I'm gonna run back out there now and try to head toward the road of whatnot to get to where I can summon you again, because I miss having. Also, I'm gonna burn this undead bone shard that I went out and got.
Yeah.
And may have died for once, but worth it. All right.
Hey, it's worth it.
It is worth it. All right. Fastest way, I guess. Cliff Underside's probably closer. Well, yeah, I know how to get there from there. Let's do it. Okay. Heading in your direction.
Have you tried Hellpoint?
Hellpoint. Title's really familiar. What's that one again?
It was a sci-fi Souls-like that came out, I want to say like a year, 2 years ago.
That's not even ringing a bell. Weird. Like, no. Have you tried it? Is it good?
Yes, and in terms of like Souls-like that are indie developed, separate from FromSoft, it's pretty. I would rate it pretty high.
Wow. All right.
Also, there's like Twitch integrated things you can do with it, which was just like a fun little thing. But right at the end of my playthrough, a dev jumped in the chat and like started doing stuff in my game.
Whoa.
So I talked to one of the devs through the game for a little bit, and I realized it was an 11-person team.
Really?
And
Wow.
it's like a pretty polished Souls experience.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. It's kind of like it's like on a space station by a black hole kind of thing, and there's like this demon invasion going on, but I don't know. I just popped back in my head of like games I had played recently on stream.
That brings up another question tangentially. So we're now at a point where the Souls-like genre is a rich vein. Like there's lots of them that aren't great, but there are a lot of games that have taken very clear, heavy inspiration from FromSoft's work. What are the ones you've experienced which you've enjoyed the most?
So I'll give a little like clarifier to each one because I think there's a lot that stand out in my head.
Okay.
I think most punishing boss fights that kind of had that same feeling of like overcoming this bonkers difficult obstacle. Code Vein.
Oh, okay.
Was there there for me. The story was kind of a miss for me. Interesting and like an anime very inspired storyline.
Yeah.
But it was pretty fun. It was also weird because like that was one of the moments I was like, I need to approach Souls-like games not like Dark Souls because I was trying to use like a heavy weapon and I was like, this is not fun like at all. And I used a fast little like one-handed sword and I had a great time with it, and there was some really tough bosses that felt pretty satisfying to go. And like the combat felt really tight. It didn't feel like my deaths felt, very my fault kind of thing. The zones were fun. They were kind of just not very visually interesting, but like design and layout, they felt like nice and sprawling, and like there was stuff to find and little secrets to uncover. That felt good. So that's one that stands out. Hellpoint was pretty solid, like especially for a small team like that, which blows my mind. It was a lot of fun. There was like an NPC true ending quest that I kind of borked up because it's a Souls-like.
Yep.
But the one cool thing that I didn't do is there's a whole like, blaster weapon playthrough that you could do. Like you could, instead of bows and crossbows and stuff, you had like laser pistols and stuff, and I didn't do any of that. I just had a big old greatsword, and it was great. But it was kind of cool. I had like a nice, the more you used a weapon, the kind of better it leveled up. Also, all of your like, when you like would upgrade something in Dark Souls, like you put the Titanite in on something and you infuse it with a gem, and then you're like, I wanted to use this other thing, and then you're like, too bad you don't have the materials.
Yep.
It did a cool thing where you could just swap them. Like, I have a +6 upgrade. I'm gonna swap it to this weapon.
That's nice.
That was really fun because then I was like, oh, I'm not punished for wanting to change my build like towards the end of the run.
That sounds really
the only
nice.
thing that is punishing is like I didn't have the like I can't remember the actual word used, but the familiarity bonus basically of like, oh, you've used this sword for so long, so here's like benefits you get with it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you've used the sword long enough, now your stamina regen is up when you're using it. That was fun. What was that? Oh, there's one we've talked about before, Surge 2.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that one.
Some of the most fun mechanics, but playthrough, zone, story kind of fell through for me. But just that, like, think of Dark Souls, but you can target limbs, and it was so fun. It worked really well. There was a really fun parry system, but the game basically became like a rhythm game by the end of it, of like, parry's your only option.
Yeah.
What else? There's a bunch of new stuff that's like been popping up recently that I have not gotten. Like I think Grime is one that just came out.
Oh yeah, I've been curious about that one.
There's one you sent me that I still haven't tried. The
Pretty be careful.
it was like pixel art,
Pixel art.
Death's Gambit or something like that.
Yes, Death's Gambit. I've heard very good things about that one. And that one's apparently like not super long either. It's like maybe a 6 to 8 hour one or something. Like it's pretty short from the sound of things.
Yeah, I want to try that out. Mortal Shell finally got like a DLC, and I've been told there was a game-breaking bug that was finally fixed. Like I think they just hadn't addressed it or something. So I'm excited to try that out.
But that's good. Yeah, that's fixed. I didn't know that was there. Yeah, that one was interesting.
Yeah.
I only saw like the first half hour maybe of that one as well, but like that one was intriguing. And apparently that one is also not like super long.
Yeah, that one's apparently very short. But there's a roguelike free DLC thing on it now.
Cool.
Or maybe free DLC. I don't take my word on that. I can't actually remember because I bought it a while ago.
Sure.
But that's been one I want to try out. Man, you ever like just someone asks you something of like, hey, what's a movie? Give me one movie. And then you're like, oh, shoot, movies.
It's like, I know I've seen those.
I know I've seen a movie before. That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm like, I know there's other ones I play. I guess I'm just standing here. I could look at like my Steam library.
Yeah, and you've apparently got time because I almost beat that little ice knight down in the thing.
He's a toughie.
He's a toughie. I went back and went ahead and like I reinforced my sword a couple times because I haven't done that at all just because I've been coasting and being stupid. But now I've upgraded the sword, so hopefully it's gonna go. Oh, you want to come join me? You want to come with me? You know, together we can beat this Frost Knight. I like your go and get him attitude. No, scared of the Frost Knight? No, I understand. It's like, yeah, no way.
What happened? Did like a undead come?
One of the big guys with like the saw blades.
Yeah.
Like, because I skipped most of the enemies on the run in, like kind of chased me into the cathedral where Siegfried is and up to the elevator, and it was like, I'm gonna come get you. And then as soon as the elevator came up, he started like backing away. I was like, oh wait, Ice Knight? No way, dude.
I'm good. That's all you. I'll go back to, mixing my raspberry jelly in this big pot. Definitely not skulls. Speaking of Steam library, library. I had to cut out an R there.
Library.
Not a Souls-like at all, but it came out in the past few days, and I've been waiting for it for years. 12 minutes?
Yeah. Have you played
Stellar.
it? Ooh, all right.
It was fantastic. It was exactly what I wanted. Like, it checked all the boxes for me. If you're listening to this now and you're like, hey, what's 12 minutes? It's a top-down point-and-click adventure of like you stuck in this time loop. And in 10 minutes, someone comes and knocks on the door, and ultimately leads to you and your wife like getting murdered, and you have to figure out what's happening. And like I think that's all the premise you need. If you want to play it, play it. It is very heavy with adult themes, so
good to know.
Be aware.
It's got a heck of a voice cast too, right?
Yes, William Dafoe is like, it's 3 characters: William Dafoe, Daisy Ridley, and I never remember his name. New Professor X from the like younger X-Men.
James McAvoy.
Yes. Yeah, and he's the main character.
That's a heck of a cast for a
Right?
new game.
It's bonkers, and it was super sad. I think I played through it in like maybe 5 or 6 hours and got a few endings. But if you like point-and-click adventures, and especially like mystery puzzly games, fantastic.
That sounds awesome. I'm glad that turned out well for you. I remember you mentioning in the Banjo-Kazooie playthrough like how much you'd been waiting for that one. So
yeah, because I think like E3 like 2017 or 2018 it came out, and I was like, that's my most anticipated game, like for sure. Like they showed a little segment and I was like, I want to know more. And it hit all the boxes for me.
Oh,
Easily
I'm glad.
my game of the year, but Psychonauts 2 did just come out.
It did just come out, and I just spent the afternoon playing it before this, and boy, have I been having a grand time.
I'm so excited to see your playthrough.
It's really pretty. Like,
I've been watching Barry play, and like I just want to talk about it. Like, it's just so gorgeous.
it's really pretty. Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it immensely. So like that'll be, if it's not on the channel already, that'll be out on the channel very soon. And I'm just giddy with excitement. And I'm really glad you've had so much to talk about today, because it's becoming abundantly clear to me that like my victory today is going to be beating this stupid knight, and then next week I will try to get to where we can co-op again. Welcome to our co-op playthrough of Dark Souls 3, everyone.
Hey, it's co-op because like pretend you know how like some of the phantoms run by you occasionally. That was me. Oh, there I go.
Super cool how the firebomb does 33 damage to this thing. I feel like I have found a thing that should be super effective against it, like a Pokemon.
You would think,
right? Chose a bad time to heal.
Also, in Final Fantasy X, there's 4 elements, and it's fire and ice are weak to each other, and then water and lightning are weak to each other.
Isn't it weird?
Even towards the end of the game, I was still casting water on fire enemies, and I was like, this does not do damage. And I'm like, oh, only ice.
It's such a weird choice. Like, you do get used to it eventually, but like, yeah, it throws you for a loop for a bit there.
Yeah. I think it's just like, you immediately assume, like, of course it's water and fire, or like, there's nothing else it could be. But no.
But no.
You'd be wrong. Oh, Neo 2.
Oh, right, yeah, like, I remember you having semi-mixed feelings on that one?
I was having fun. The zone's really fun. The bosses started to feel hopeless. Like, it is really just a don't make a mistake kind of game, it feels.
Which I don't love.
I'm sure it gets better and stuff, but I kept bouncing off bosses hard.
I've had some friends who were like, or a friend, I should say, who's really, like, very much wants that, like, a co-op playthrough of that to happen. And, like, nothing about Neo necessarily interests me, but, I don't know, like, I shouldn't rule it out, I guess. Eventually, you and I are going to run out of these things.
Neo 2, I will say, was already a huge step up for me from Neo 1, because I don't play Geralt of Rivia. It's such a weird, like, okay, here's this, you know, like, samurai-inspired game. Let's play this European white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if for those of you who don't know, Neo 2, you have a full character customization. And it's great. I was enjoying a lot of it. I know the game is bonkers long and there's so much to do in it, but I did a few streams of it, and I fell off of it hard just because you really gotta prepare for each boss, it feels. It's like, okay, this boss is poison. I need to handle my whole build as anti-poison kind of thing. Which is cool and interesting. I just, after a few of those in a row, I was like, I kind of just want to, you know, hit R1 sometimes.
Sometimes you just want to hit R1. Like, I think that's, Dark Souls tends to be kind of good about that, actually. I think, like, there's lots of stretches where, especially once you know the area, like if you've been through it once, you can kind of run through an R1 stuff a lot, and you can't go totally mindless, but you can still kind of like just like, all right, I'm having some fun here. R1. Okay, now I need to concentrate. You got a nice like ebb and flow of that. And I also enjoy being able to turn my brain off occasionally. And it's really coming back to bite me now. I feel like I should warn everybody up front that to treat this as a podcast episode, maybe don't watch, just listen.
Just listen. There's nothing happening visually that I want you to see.
Yeah, I'd prefer like, I know like we only put so much stock in authorial intent here, but this author would rather you actually not view this gameplay if at all possible. If you could just like kind of respect the author's wishes on that one. Wow. Ice Knight, could you please chill? Do you get my joke, Ice Knight? Please calm down.
It's very good.
Ow.
I don't know what it is about. As soon as I am in the middle of something, like, oh, record time. It is time for my Discord to pop off. Everyone's hitting me up. I think it's just a group chat going off.
That makes sense. Frost Knight, I've worked so hard.
It was weird. It was freezing my game every time a notification popped up, so I just closed Discord.
Get out of there. So Frostbite reduces your damage, right? Like, is that what I remember being correct?
You know, I don't know. I always assumed it just slowed you and did like a burst of damage, like bleed.
It probably does. There we go. Thank heck.
Frostbite PS3. Let's see what it actually does.
You were describing 12 minutes before about, like, imagine being stuck in a time loop. And I'm like, I didn't have to imagine that hard, honestly. The last half of this episode.
Really just take yourself out of the situation. You know? I know it's hard to wrap your head around being in a time loop.
Imagine going through the same place, doing the same things every single day, and at the end you die.
Here you go. Deals 11% of max HP plus
Whoa.
a base damage of 85. And gives you minus stamina regen, and you take increased damage while you're frostbitten.
Rough. Well, thank God that's over. I have beaten the night. And
yeah, it does a little bleed, and then it makes you slow.
I really hope you've all enjoyed our co-op playthrough of Dark Souls 3 today. Because what a good co-op time it's been. I'm now at the Road of Sacrifice, which is super cool, and I'm going to try to barge through this place real fast next week when we try to... It's the quest for co-op, and I think that we can succeed.
Look, quest for co-op.
Just got to get through a bunch of screamy birds, but that's going to happen next time. Thank you all so much for watching, despite everything, and I hope that you have a good week, and we'll see you next time for co-op probably. No, definitely. I guarantee. If nothing else, that episode will last as long as it takes for me to summon you so we can both wave to camera.
Summon, end the episode, and that's it.
Take care, everyone, and goodbye.
Goodbye.